I love the Go West introduction. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Jamie Parker. I'd also like to acknowledge the traditional owners of this land and pay my respects to their elders, both past and present. The current process, design and economic approach of this Barangaroo development, in my view, is sheer folly. And tonight I'd like to outline the reasons why I, as Mayor of Leichhardt, and my community care about this place. My family has a long tradition of engagement in waterfront land. My mother was born and bred in Liverpool in England. Her father was a dock worker all of his life. When my parents immigrated to Australia, my dad, who was a sailor, a fitter, had his first job in the Balmain shipyards, working on the ferries. And I've represented the ward of Balmain for many, many years. So I have a strong sense of the importance of the foreshore from a working, historical and residential perspective, even though I have to confess I'm not lucky enough to live next to the waterfront. Recently, we had a Part A application from the Barangaroo Delivery Authority that demonstrates the noise that Balmain residents will suffer for close to 16 months, outlines the relocation of the cruise ship terminal to White Bay, a relocation which is not supported by the local tourism industry in the city, isn't supported by the cruise ship industry, nor is it supported by local councils, and it will have significant impact on the residents of Balmain and the peninsula. Not to mention the huge visual impact of the monstrosity that is being proposed to be built in our harbour. You can always clap if you like. In short, ladies and gentlemen, it's a poorly designed commercial and residential enclave, and by virtue of granting monopoly rights to lend-lease, it suppresses the return to the public purse. The information that we have available on the public domain exclusively consists of cropped, low-resolution images with no accurate representation or references to such things as ridge lines, floor space ratios, context plans, architectural plans or sections. In short, in my view, it is pure doctored spin. But if you look closely, even at these inadequate plans, you can see a whole range of problems with the development. The continuing misalignment of the new Globe Street to the existing Lime Street coming from the north. The northwest return of Globe Street towards Hickson Road doesn't tie with any public domain linkages back to the city. There's restricted access and views north from Globe Street towards the headland. There's a misalignment of New Street relative to existing Margaret Street, so the 40-odd storey tower will still block out the sky when standing in the street. And of course, there is the outrageous intrusion of a private hotel and apartments into our harbour. The three commercial buildings we heard of are almost 330,000 square metres. The biggest building in the city at the moment is Grosvenor Place, which is only 90. These are gargantuan buildings that will have a huge impact. And the Delivery Authority shows these Mickey Mouse images from the south so as to reduce the impact and the visual scale of these buildings. Also, the three residential towers seem considerably taller than previous models if you compare their height to the Kent Street towers behind them. But of course, the lack of adequate information makes that difficult to prove. The development will also wall the foreshore from the public in stark opposition to the original Hills-Thallas plan that incorporated genuine public open space on the foreshore. And this proposal reduces the amount of genuine public space and should be refused and condemned. In short, this development prioritises commercial space rather than hard-fought public campaigns to keep the foreshore for genuine public access, not foreshore monstered by huge buildings or assailed by advertising and retail shopping malls. For the Barangaroo Development Authority, Pitt Street Mall is their type of public domain, but not ours. Finally, in my 1 minute, can I say the economic model is wrong and flawed. To sell this site wholesale, 7.5 hectares delivers a huge monopoly benefit to lend-lease, but all it delivers is lack of diversity and lack of competition when it comes to delivering the type of diversity and the type of return the public demands. We should look at things like Victoria Park, where Landcom took on the site, built the quality infrastructure and sold it lot by lot. How many developers can afford 7.5 hectares on the waterfront? Very, very few. But if the site was to be broken up into smaller parcels, we could have the kind of competition that could deliver the best results for the public purse. But in this fast buck state, it doesn't revolve seemingly around returns for Treasury, but it resolves around the quickest possible answer is the best one. And there's many more reasons. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. It should be condemned in the strongest terms.